Produce Loosening the Noose, and my name is Holly Hendricks. Okay, so why should fresh, locally grown produce be provided at elementary schools? So my mom is a nutritionist, and she works for a charter school district in St. Louis, and what she does, she has a program that she's implemented in her schools that provides locally grown fresh produce to her kids, and with this they've seen an increase in their standardized test scores, which actually is why a lot of schools are funded, because of how well they do. And so a lot of her kids at her schools are impoverished and live off of welfare and have food stamps, and so they don't have access to the fresh produce that a lot of us do. And with that, a lot of them have a lot of health issues, and so it's something that I want to fix. So, diet is so important at the elementary school level age because it establishes healthy eating habits, and if a kid, say, eats McDonald's 3 to 4 times a week, they will crave it and they just will want all that fat and carbs that it provides. And if that continues throughout their life, then they have a higher risk for diabetes and cardiovascular disease and things of that nature that will really put a burden on their life as a whole. So some of the mental risks of childhood obesity, they suffer from psychological stress, poor body image, and low self-esteem. So they'll go through the halls and say they have had that McDonald's for a while and they're getting a little bigger, and people will start calling them fat and calling them out on their problems, and then with that they won't want to go to school as often because they feel like they'll be made fun of all the time. And another thing is poor eating habits also hinders their brain development and their ability to learn. So if you figure, say you eat like a McMuffin or something like that from McDonald's every morning before school, your brain will be fatigued and you won't be able to focus as much in school because it just doesn't provide the nutrients that you need. And a lot of schools that are in impoverished areas, they tend to have more overweight kids because they can't afford the healthier things that provide the nutrients, and the children also don't do as well academically. So, some statistics. Since 1980, the number of overweight children has about doubled, and currently 11% of children are overweight. So if you visit an elementary school today and you take a poll, and about 1 out of every 10 students will be overweight or obese. And in addition to that 11%, 14% of them have a body mass index between the 85th and 95th percentile, and that's just really bad. And one of the reasons is because before 1980, school lunches were more regulated, and they were supposed to provide about 1/3 of the child's nutritional requirements for the day. So, if you look at this graph, in 2005, when this study was done, there's about 1.6 billion kids that were overweight or obese, or adults, like that. And the World Health Organization projected that about 2.3 billion people will be obese in the year of 2015, which is next year. And if you put that into perspective, the world population is about 6.7 billion. And so that is about 1/3 of the population of the world is obese or overweight. So some things, since people have kind of noticed the obesity crisis arising, especially in America, the standards were raised in 2001 by the federal government, and so it was based off of nutritional needs as well as food-based needs. So in most elementary schools, 2 portions of fruit and vegetables are required, but whether or not these are actually fresh and locally grown depends on the school and their funds. So most kids are getting either canned food or frozen, and they just do not offer the same nutritional value. So if we supplement fresh produce in elementary schools, but especially in impoverished areas, the kids will perform academically better, and they'll be more likely to come and stay in school. The dropout rate should hopefully go down, and they will have an overall healthier and happier lifestyle. So kids of minorities, they're Hispanic, Black, Indian, or Asian, they their dropout rates tend to be a little bit higher than Caucasian, and they're also the ones that tend to live in more impoverished areas, so it kind of goes hand in hand. So if they're getting fed better, then these dropout rates should also go down.